everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. Tonight I'm going to be making some street tacos and I'm going to be putting some beef fajita with chipotle inside of my taquitos. So let me show you what my ingredients are going to be. I actually have some beef fajitas in this bag. These are frozen fajitas. They've already been thawed out and they're already cooked, so I'm just going to be heating them up. Make it easy for myself. You can get chicken if you prefer that instead of the beef. I've got some cabbage that I'm going to shred just a little bit of it, some cilantro. I got these little mini street taco size tortillas, some queso fresco, or you can use whatever cheese you like. I'm also going to be using this little can of chipotle peppers in my meal, also some onions. I've got limes. I've got my favorite hot sauces and a salsa. I've also got a can of petite diced tomatoes. I think this is like a 14 and a half ounce. And then I've got some corn and some beans, some charro style beans on the side because I want to put that on my plate as well. So let me go to chopping up some of the stuff. We're going to go ahead and start grilling our onions first. Alright, so I've got my pan here heating up and I have it on high. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to that so that I can grill my onions in there. And I'm just going to slice them up. I'm not going to chop them up. So I'm taking a small onion, or you could take like half of a medium onion, however much onion you like actually. Take these pieces off. Okay, I'm going to do the whole thing. If you prefer it chopped, go ahead and chop it up. But I'm going to grill this. But if you prefer a fresh onion, you might want to chop this up in there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this in my skillet. Get them to fry up a bit in there. Okay. And I'm going to get them to a little bit of a caramelization. So I'm going to leave them in there a little while. Meantime, I'm going to take my cabbage. And I just got a small portion of it. If you don't care for cabbage, you can use lettuce. And you could shred this up. I don't know, obviously use a plank to shred this. Or if you have a little vegetable shredder, use that. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. And just shred it up like that. And then I'm going to come back and cut it up like that even. Okay, this can now go on my plate. I can actually cut up a little bit more of that. But I'm going to go ahead and now chop up the cilantro, and I've got just a little bundle of cilantro, and I'm going to use the stems as well. I'm not going to use the very bottom of the stems, and I've already gone ahead and I've rinsed out my cilantro as well because it's very sandy. Rinse it out with some cold water. Just chop it up. Okay, I think I've got this chopped up nice. This will go over here. And now I can slice up a couple of limes. Get those ready. And I'll shell it up. Okay, so I'm back and I'm just stirring up my onions a bit more here. And now I'm going to shred up some of this queso fresco. Take a nice piece and just break it up, crumble it up with my fingers. Like I said, use your favorite cheese, but queso fresco is pretty much used for little street tacos like this. It combines really well with any kind of meat, and with the cabbage and the cilantro and the lime. It's nice to also sprinkle some of this on some corn on the cob that you've smothered with some mayonnaise. So there's my crumbled up cheese. I'm giving my ends another bit of a stir here, and I've gone ahead and I've lowered my heat to a medium so they don't burn on me. Gotta keep an eye on them. Alright, so now I'm gonna chop up a little bit of this, well, pretty much all of this chipotle. Chipotle is just basically a roasted jalapeno and some yummy tomato sauce. So we're going to use all that up. Turning it over. And then I'm just going to scrape it from here onto my fajitas when that is ready. And whatever little bit is left in here. And then we're going to go ahead and start heating up our fajitas. Alright, my onions have caramelized in there, so I'm going to go ahead and pour this bit onto some napkins over here so they can drain off. My pan back on there, so I've got them on a platter here with a napkin. Just going to spread them out a little bit so they can drain off onto that napkin. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and go back to high here, and I'm going to take my fajitas. I don't think I have enough oil in there still. I don't need to put any more because I'm still going to do a little bit of frying on some of the tortillas. Okay, so that's good enough for now. Alright, all this needs is to be heated up because it's already cooked. And then I'm going to give them a taste and see if they have enough seasoning. I'm probably going to add more pepper, some garlic powder, maybe some cumin. But I'm going to wait for one of these little pieces to heat up. Let me see what the instructions say. Medium heat 12 minutes. So I had it on high because I wanted it to get hot again. So I'm going to go ahead and lower it to medium. Now it asked me to put in there some water, but instead of adding water, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this kind of tomato, the diced tomato, because that has a liquid, and I wanted to add some tomatoes to that as well. So that's going to go in there. And then I'm also going to add all this chipotle. Let me get some of those tomatoes in there to grab that sauce. Yeah, that's good. And all that's on here, just scrape it onto there, get it on there. All those pieces and all that sauce. And we're going to just mix it real good and coat every piece of fajita. And I'm going to let it cook for 12 minutes just like it asked. So I think I have about another 10 or 11 minutes. And I shall be back. Alright everyone, I went ahead and I put this up back on high because I wanted to kind of speed it up here. And because I'm hungry, you guys. So just keep your heat at a comfortable temperature for you while you're cooking. And I also wanted it to get hot fast enough so that I could go ahead and taste a little piece of this. I didn't want to taste one that was, you know, cold or frozen. So anyway, but it's hot enough. I was able to taste it, and I felt like I wanted to add a little bit of my own seasonings. Aside from what, you know, it was already seasoned in the bag. It was ready to go, serve, and, you know, heat up and serve is basically what it was. But if you're making this from, you know, your raw chicken or your raw beef fajitas or pork, if you want to use that, then season it up. And I would use the basics, which is salt and pepper, and then I'm going to use some ground or, you know, garlic powder. And the one thing that you always want to do is you want to add comino or cumin, okay? I have to remind myself right now, what have I already added to it? Okay, so then just season this to taste. But you'll season yours if you didn't find some already pre-cooked. This is an easy, quick meal. Oh, this is smelling really good. All right, everyone, that's still going. I'm gonna go ahead and lower now that it's nice and hot. Get that on that medium heat that it asks for. All right, so here I've got that can of corn. I put it in a little saucepan and I heated it up so it's nice and hot. The best thing to do would be put it in a little pan and fry it up with a little bit of olive oil, but I wanted to speed things up and I didn't want to grab another little pan. I already had this one out, so this is what I'm using, okay? And I drained out the can, of course, get all the little juices out of there. So if you've ever had street corn, you know that they either smother them with butter or mayonnaise. So what I'm going to do to my can of corn, and excuse the sounds coming out of my bottle here, is I'm going to add some mayonnaise to that to give it that flavor. And I'm going to squeeze some lime into it. Oh, there we go. Get that stirred in there really well. Now it might look like it'll curdle a little bit because, you know, the lime and the mayonnaise, but it's going to be delicious. Okay, so now we're going to take some of this queso fresco, because sometimes our street corn has some queso fresco on it. And it also has a little bit of chili powder, you guys. Some people prefer a liquidy kind of a sauce instead of the powder. So that is up to you if you want to use a chili powder or if you want to use like a cayenne powder on it, sprinkle that on there. I'm going to go ahead and use some of my Valentina hot sauce and just sprinkle a couple of drops in there and just mix that in. A little bad corn in there. Let's get that one out. He didn't look too pretty in there. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do to that. I'm going to give it nice flavors in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on the stove and make sure I get this hot again. And we will be back. Our fajitas will be done, and then we can start frying up some little tortillas so we can make our street tacos. Fajitas are done. That is what they look like. I'm going to put them in this bowl. Now just keep in mind, because you did put some jalapeno, the chipotle, in there, you may get a little bit of the smokiness from that in your eyes. You might get it in your throat like I am right now. So be careful. Also wash your hands really well when handling that. I should have told you that when I was cutting it up. Okay, so I'm going to use the same pan, and I'm going to add some oil to that. I don't mind the little bit of tomato sauce that's in there. Okay, so now I'm going to start heating it up again. And let me tell you, these pans, you see all that little burn stuff there? Actually, it's not even burn, it's like brown. So look, it just scrapes right off with my wooden spoon on my copper chef pan. So just use a good non-stick. I'm going to get that going again. To get that hot, and then I'm going to fry up some little tortillitas so we can make our little tacos, you guys. All right, everyone, my oil got nice and hot here. So I'm going to start dropping some of these little tortillas in there, just a couple at a time. I don't want to overwhelm my pan or myself. And I've got the same skillet I had a moment ago for my onions. I put a nice clean piece of napkin to drain this now. So we want our tortillas to fry in the hot oil. But we don't want them to get crispy, we just want them to get soft. Now, if you don't want to do this, you can just skip this and then just warm them up without any oil in there, and I would use 2 per taco. I just love when they're just fried a bit in the oil. It gives it a more authentic taste. And depending on how many tacos you want, well, 2 for each. So if you want to eat 4 tacos, then make yourself 8 of these little tortillas. And see that my husband and I probably want 4 tacos each. I'm gonna make 16. Okay, so I've got 4 done. Drain them off on my napkin over here. Now, I could actually have had a lot less oil. I got a little carried away there, put quite a bit of it in there. I'm gonna go ahead and go for my 3rd one now. because I've got a little bit of a rhythm going here. Let's see if I put a fourth one in there. All right, you guys, I'm going to finish frying my little tortillas, and I shall be back so we can build these and eat them up. All right, everyone, we're going to get ready to build our little taquitos. So I'm going to take 2 of these little corn tortillas, just like that. And I'm going to put some of these fajitas inside. Why 2 little corn tortillas? Because sometimes your little taco tends to tear up, so we want the second one there to keep it together, okay? So put a little bit of your meat in there, some of this shredded cabbage or lettuce if you prefer, some cilantro, some fresh, crumbled up cheese, and some of these grilled onions. Oh my goodness, that looks terrific. The last thing we want to do is maybe sprinkle some lime on them, but first I'm going to put a little bit of salsita in there, and then we can squeeze some lime in there, or put them all on your plate and then squeeze the lime over them. But there we go. There is one nicely built taquito right there. All right, so I'm going to make a whole bunch more, set them up on my platter here, and then I'm going to serve it with some of this yummy corn that I made. I warmed up some beans because, we got to have some. I actually have some tostadas too on the side, so I might put those beans on the tostadas. So I'll be back once I get all my tacos built and we can go ahead and taste these. Oh my God, I am so hungry. This is delicious. I even have my tea ready here to go because I am ready to eat, guys. All right, everyone, I've managed to make myself 8 of these little taquitos. And there's my little corn. What do we want to call that? Just a little cup of corn is what we want to call that. Got some beans on the side here. I'm going to go ahead and serve myself. This looks delicious, everyone. Let me get this up one more time so you can look at it up close. There we go. And I'll serve myself some of this corn as well. Just give it a little taste for now. And I'll grab one of these little taquitos. Now, I've already sprinkled some lime on them. There we go. Let's go ahead and give it a little try here. Very good. Now the corn. Mmm. Delicious. I'm actually going to serve myself a bigger plate. Now, I just wanted to show you that I had a lot of this left over. So it just depends on how much you make. This will be plenty enough for everybody. I do have more tortillas that I can make more little taquitos. And I've also got some little crunchy tostadas, crispy corn tortillas that I can also make like a chalupa with this. So make this up for your family. Enjoy it. Have everyone, just put the meat inside all the tortillas, set them out, and let everybody put whatever they want inside of there. If they want to throw in some of these bitter corn into the taco, go for it. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up. I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up and that you will leave a nice comment down below. Make sure you subscribe. And thank you to everyone who has been subscribing. Welcome to my channel. And make sure you share on your social medias. And as always, enjoy.